I made this.
This the rant of the real. Everybody telling lies is true first, so it's fuck how they do feel. Or you for real? Man, put that on your mama, you a gangster and you got more shit for real. This the rant of the real. Everybody telling lies is true first, so it's fuck how they do feel. Or you for real? Man, put that on your mama, you a gangster and you got more shit for real.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Rant to the Real. The power real niggas get on here and rant. This is the #1 podcast in the top 50. No need to look that up. Google is wrong. They're stealing from you right now. I would not trust them. I am your host, Uncle Chive, the hardest working ever to exist. Now let's start your day off with eggs, bacon vibes, and I bring you nothing but immaculate vibes. Today is hot. It's a very hot day. The next 3 days are finna be in the 90s, yo. This shit is unbearable. And then we drop back down to the 70s. You know what's crazy is it's always aggressively hot on days that I have to work. On my days off, it's 60 degrees and raining. And then Sunday, when I go back to work, 1,000 degrees again. It makes no sense. No sense whatsoever. I think it's just meant to be my days off, super hot, super cold. And then on my days that I work, aggressively hot. And in this room, it's hell on earth. But you know what? We just got off a good shift. We came to pod, yo. We came to talk about some things today. Let's get right into it. Father's Day is a joke. You know it's a joke when, like, the running thing is like, dad's get a tie, maybe a toolbox or some shit like that. But, like, realistically, the day is considered a joke, yo. Like, the Tennessee Titans posted this thing, and it was like, Happy Father's Day to all the mothers and father figures. What I got from that is you basically said everyone on the team didn't have fathers. They grew up in single mother households. Is that not the portray? Is that not what that sounds like? Because to me, that sounds like the whole team ain't got no motherfucking pappy. It sound like they played catch with the neighbor's son. You know what I mean? Sound like they had an impactful role model in their life that taught them how to play catch and throw the pigskin around. That's what it sounds like. That's how you know that day is considered a joke. Because who's really taking this shit seriously? And then, like, there is actually, some good fathers out there. I guarantee you somebody on that team got a daddy that be out there every day, that ran drills with their ass every day. Shit's a joke. Because, like, why would you put for the mothers? That part is the odd part to me, because, like, Mother's Day, they had their day. If I'm not mistaken, that was a month ago. And, mothers got their flowers, they got their time to shine, they got their care, they got to get, a little TLC. They got flowers, they got hugs, they got love, they got whatever it took to make her happy. And then the dads get father figures, mothers. And then you got the the female to males. Happy Father's Day to me. I'm a great dad. It's not the same. It's like sweet and low. You could call it sugar. It might be sweet. But that shit is disgusting. And it will never be sugar. And it will never amount to what real sugar will ever be. But that don't change the fact that we still got the imitations and the fillings and the false claimers. And that's not a shot at just the trans people. That's also a shot at the father figures, the roles, the what's considered to be the manliness in the situation. That's a shot at them. The imitation, the sweet and low. That's what y'all are. Y'all sweet and low. You will never, ever be the real sugar cane. But yeah, like, the day is seen as a joke. And then, like, why is it that it's only, like, shit that nobody really wants to receive on Father's Day as a sale? That's how you know that the shit is just, like, they don't take it seriously. Tools is on sale. Ties is on sale. Loafers. You know what I mean? Dress pants and shirts. Men's Warehouse, 10% off. You know it's a joke. They don't take none of this shit seriously. And, like, why would you? Because I guess there really is nobody putting their foot down being like, nah, I'm not going for that. Me personally, I'm not a father, but I wouldn't go for them bare minimum ass gifts neither. Like, what's not about to happen is for 3 years in a row, we about to just get me a tie or a toolbox and you think I'm finna put a smile on my face. No. The energy you put in is the energy you receive. You give me a tie, I got you, bitch. You get a fucking blouse next. You get a bow tie from me. You get a lady tie, a bolo tie. You know what I mean? Might get you a Sunday hat next Mother's Day. Fuck around and find out. And the same amount of effort I get is the same amount of effort I'm going to put back in. It's called the law of fair and equal exchange. You give me nothing, I'm going to, in turn, give you nothing. And I know you'd be like, oh, that's a terrible mindset. Oh, well. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm not finna pull a fucking sun, moon, and stars out the sky. And then, when it's time to do the same, I get pencils. Nah, that ain't gonna work for me. Now, I don't expect much from the kiddos, you know what I mean? They the little homies. I do expect it from the big homies, though, the adults, because you know what the fuck going on. I'm gonna take, you know what I mean, little man macaroni art, but my wife, yeah, she not about to give me no fucking macaroni art. I ain't get no goddamn toolbox. There better be some behind the scenes shit. Yeah, I mean, you're like, oh, the kids picked this out, but, you know, I got you something nice in the garage or something, or, you know what I mean? Fuck, I like with just a tie and a toolbox and cheap suits, overly priced. Shit is a joke, yo. I think more men need to put their foot down and just stop accepting that bullshit. That's what I would do. I just wouldn't even accept it. But like, nah, I'm cool. You got it. I don't want that bullshit. Nah, let me stop fucking around. Like I said, I ain't no peppy. You know what I mean? I can't tell y'all how to live y'all life. Y'all gotta do the thing that works for y'all, keeps your household in check. But at the same time, you know, with that saying, it is hard to set boundaries with people that, you know, you let slide or didn't let slide, stuff like that. Like, if it's someone you truly fuck with and, like, they mean the world to you or vice versa, I'm not going to say it's hard to set boundaries. That's a lie. You can always set boundaries and stand on business. I am going to say that it's probably hard to constantly keep someone in place that you like, or that you love, or that you find that fancies you. You know what I mean? Like, if you truly fuck with somebody and you really want to make shit work with them, or you just trying to keep it cool, I guess there's a certain point where you have to compromise, and you just gotta accept that this is what it is and this is what it ain't, shit like that, the trade-offs, you know what I mean? Not everything is gonna go 100% your way and vice versa. That being said, at what point do you, like, let someone cross a boundary that they may or may not know exists? Like, let's say you have a boundary that no one truly knows, and they cross it. Do you enforce it, or do you just let it slide because it's that one person? Does one person get a G pass, or no one gets a G pass? You know what I mean? At what point do you go, nah, this can't happen? And then at what point do you enforce it? Because realistically, you go on, when you truly, decide to fuck with someone, there's going to be a boundary that gets crossed, and then you got to decide whether to stand on it or to let it go. And then let's say you stand on that boundary, right? You know what I mean? You're not moving that goalpost. And then they cross a different boundary in a different sector. They never repeated that mistake, but they did another one now. Do you let it go? And they cross another one and another one. Now, mind you, these ain't your normal, don't do this, don't do that, don't hit me, that type of shit. Like, the stuff that everyone should just know not to do, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the stuff that, they breathing too loud and you can hear them. Anybody else, you'd have been like, I can't hang with this person, they breathe too loud. Or, let's say they get dressed weird and you like, nah, I can't do that. Because you don't like the way they put their left pants on first, shit like that. Or let's say, they can't put the toilet seat up or down. They always leave it in a place that you don't fuck with. That's a boundary, you know what I mean? I guess you could call it that. Do you enforce it? Do you let it go? Let's say you say something, they don't do that. But say they got a problem with peeking through the windows and they break the blinds. Do you enforce to stop touching my windows? And like, at what point is the boundary like, all right, I can't let this shit slide, versus it ain't that big a deal, but it is that big a deal. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just be talking. Like, sometimes if you truly fuck with somebody, I guess there's a boundary. Certain boundaries you gotta let go. Certain bricks that ain't worth building, you know what I mean? Some walls gotta come down. I have been watching an extensive amount of footage of the riots in L.A. I wouldn't really call them riot. Oh, the first couple days, they definitely was rioting, destroying shit. Them people was using makeshift weapons to fight back. Like, some of that shit was actually ingenious. Like, I commend them. Day one, they went out there. All right. Some people got beat with the foam batons. I saw the little canister. It was like foam baton in a can or something. Obviously, it's got to be hard enough to get the point across, but soft enough to where you don't truly hurt somebody. And then, all right, day one, you go out there. You know what I mean? A couple people get beat. A couple people get hit with the tear gas and the rubber bullets. So day two, they come out. Now they got masks on. They got respirators. They got wet T-shirts tied around their face. They found a way around it. They was using benches, deflect the bullets. They using the one dude had like taped up boogie boards that he made into like a shield, and then they would shoot. They just like made their own iron wall or just foam surfboard. Yo, you gotta see this shit. They looked crazy. Then, like, they launching tear gas. That's not working because the people picking it up and throwing it back. I think I watched the same tear gas thing get shot like 3 or 4 times. They just yeeting it back and forth. It's entertaining because it's like, yo, these people really standing on business about what, the cause. And every day they just find a new way to, oh yeah, y'all do this, so we gonna do this. Y'all do that, so we gonna do that. And I think that's actually really entertaining. You gotta see the entertainment value in it, because every time the police, they brought the military out. They had the National Guard and they had the Marines, and ain't nobody scared of them. They still bucking up to them niggas and they pushing back. I find it entertaining and comical. Fuck yeah, do your thing, stand on business. You know what I mean? Standing on business means shit get broke, people get hurt, point get across. So if you gotta get your point across and let people know, they gotta feel your pain and put that pain out, little homie. But I've been watching a lot of footage of it. Like, it is interesting to watch. And they got so many different news outlets and channels out there. They even have startup channels. Like, people who ain't never had a news channel or ever did. There's a lot of people who never did content creation. They just said, fuck it. We got a camera. We're going to buy a camera. And we just going to go out here and record this shit. Going viral off of the pain. I don't super commend that. But, I mean, I do find it cool that, like, there's German news stations out there. There's, like, the Chinese international news station. Well, they like YouTube. They more broadcast on YouTube because obviously the country probably won't put that on Channel 10 News or whatever it is. But they could tune into, you know what I mean, something, German news or Hong Kong Daily News or whatever the case may be. And bam, live footage of this shit. And that's actually pretty cool, though. Like, going across the country or the city, and they're like, y'all gotta see this, putting other people on. And this is not just it's not, some things start off as just like local issues. This ain't a local thing, this is hitting global. And while this is happening, we got these bombings and wars and all this other shit. And it's like, it's intriguing to see, because it's like, what if, the next war breaks out while there's civil unrest? What do you focus on first? Do you, like, just do an immediate hammer of dawn type shit and just, let's stop this civil shit first and then go handle what we gotta handle? Or is it just like, we'll be back to whatever's left over type deal? I have very mixed opinions on, illegal people that immigrate to come here. I wouldn't say illegals. I feel like that's a derogatory term. Immigrants, right? If you're truly getting away from hell and you just want to come here to get away from your oppressiveness, I fuck with it. You know what I mean? Come where it's safe. Everybody deserves to feel safe and secure. And the people that just live here and pick oranges or, do the shit jobs and pay their bills and go about their day, I don't see why we actually are fucking with them when it's the crime that's an issue. We're not fixing the crime. We're giving crime its due process. We're giving crime its chance, go through the court systems, filtrate. You know what I mean? Like, that happens in the appropriate manner. But when it comes to just, a regular immigrant who just busting their ass in a sweatshop in America, we kicking down doors, zip tying them, and sending them back home. I feel like that aspect is where we gotta rethink some things, figure something out. Like, I understand that those are also the same people getting extorted to be told you need to do X, Y, Z while you're in America and shit like that. I understand multiple sides to every coin. But immigrants also do the backbone work of this country. So while everyone's screaming, yeah, get the illegals out, are y'all finna go do these fucking jobs that they do? You know, immigrants work in slaughterhouses. Immigrants work in them fish warehouses. They work in the fields. Maybe not picking cotton, but they definitely work out in these farmer fields, grabbing corn, apples. You think them apple orchards is full of just documented illegals that want to make fucking $13? No. Not probably. Yeah, I mean, there's orange pickers. There's people that have acres of land, and if I can get away with paying someone that happily would take $8 an hour or $100 a day, fuck yeah, I'm gonna exploit that free labor. Is it right? No, it's fucked up. But it is what it is. That's just how the rich get rich and keep rich. Everyone's got to do some seedy shit to get somewhere. And somehow, some way, they make it work. They pay their bills. They still eat. And they ain't got to worry about getting, well, I guess it depends where you live. You still got to worry about being attacked. But I guess it's not everyday common occurrence. It's not as prevalent. But nah, there are generally people like that immigrate, come to America, and just want to do the right thing. And I understand the green card process takes years. So maybe you come here and you don't get your card for like 10 years. Or you got to wait 15, 20 years. Well, what the fuck you supposed to do at that point? Sit in your hometown for 15, 20 years? Like, let's be real. Ain't nobody doing that shit. If hell is now, if death means tomorrow, then no, I'm not going to sit there. I'm not going to wait. I'd rather take my chances sitting in the American jail than when I know what's waiting for me tomorrow there. So, yeah, come here, buy my time, work my $8 an hour, and then in 2040, when they give me my green card, I'm valid. Then maybe I can ask for a little more. But understand who going to do these jobs. I know we pushing for, let's put these tariffs out. Let's start getting American-made jobs. Let's get factories going. Okay, first off, who's going to pay to open these factories? You don't just build factories and stores in a day, in a year. That takes years. It probably takes the first year getting drawings and schematics up, planning. Then it probably takes another year getting approval from local legislative and stuff to even build there, because you got to have permits. You got to be within a certain, away from certain schools and all this other shit. Maybe you can't build your thing because it's literally 1 mile too close to a school or residentials. I know there's a certain distance from like fast food to residential neighborhoods. There's a distance between things and schools, so you can't just drop a factory wherever the fuck you want. Then you gotta think about, we have mountain ranges, we got open fields. Sometimes you gotta try to buy these farmers out. Maybe they're not probably gonna sell to you at all. Maybe this house been in family generation for the last 30 years and they don't want to give it up. So first off, it's gonna take at least 5 years to think about building this one factory. And someone has to pay for all of this. Okay, factory gets built, put up. We looking at 2033 at best. Now you gotta find people to work in this factory. What you gonna pay them? Because where you put it depends on how much you gotta pay people at minimum wage. You put that shit here in New York, you gotta pay these people $15 an hour. Is that something you want to do? Or do you put it somewhere where you can bare minimum squeeze them for like 8 or 10? Now we start thinking about those permits laws and what land areas able to buy. Is there even open land to buy right now? Is everything owned? Okay. How long do you think you're going to get workers for? Because if you think that this current generation and the one coming up, my generation, the generation after me, and the one that's currently coming up, do you truly, truly think they about to be at the same job for the next 30 years? Let's be fucking for real. Like, I understand People like my grandfather and his grandfather and stuff like that, yes, they probably will work at Kodak till they die. They got hired at 16 and they died on the clock, at 88. They did not stop. You're not getting 20, 30 years out of this generation. That's not going to fucking happen. People going to bounce around. Every 5 years, move around. Maybe they're not happy or comfortable. Understand the birth rate is declining. Most people was working them shit jobs because they had families to feed and they had no choice to stay. People nowadays don't want fucking kids. A, because they're too expensive, and B, don't nobody fucking want them. And C, there's no love. So you made this kid for no fucking reason. It's a financial burden. Some people don't see it that way, but other people do. I am people. I see children as financial burden and financial suicide. You'll never recover from it. And there are other people that see it as a blessing, as a joy. And I'm not here to persuade anyone's feelings or thoughts. My thoughts are my own, and your thoughts are your own. And I commend all of you that happily raise them, because I truly don't know how you do it. I'd be miserable. I wouldn't be a deadbeat, but I'd be fucking miserable. And right now, I'm not thinking about other people or another life. So that'd be real shitty of me to try to raise someone knowing that I probably won't care about them at this current moment. It's not smart. And also, if I don't like a job, I'm going to leave it. Not stay there because, fuck, I need to keep this, $22 an hour because I got a wife and 3 kids at home or whatever the case may be. No, this job sucks. Bye. And that's the generation that's growing up now. You're not going to have this generation is just not factory workers. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to get people that want to just be in a fucking building all day. Majority of the people that don't mind hustling, bustling, loading trucks up so they can go shipped across the country and do the bullshit back-breaking labor that no one else wants to do is immigrants. Where I currently work, it's full of immigrants. There's not I'm going to say that 98% of the people that actually do the hard work, the moving, the lifting, the wrapping, the taping, the forklift, all that, are all Middle Eastern immigrants. I think they're Benali or something. I don't quote me on that. All of them. Every last one of them in there is Middle Eastern immigrants. Whether they're legal or not, that's not the point. They're all immigrants, and they're all willing to do this job for shit pay. And they don't complain. From the little 2.5 weeks I've been there, I have learned that the head of house works there, his kids work there, his wife works there, his mom and his dad work there. And if his grandparents are alive, they work there. There are 2 or 3 generations of immigrants that work at this place. And they some of them, happily come and do it. There's a reason why there's 90% of the Middle Eastern people that work this fucking job. Don't nobody want to do that shit. It's hard work. They told me that I have to do that work for 15 minutes to learn how to do it. I don't want to do that because it looks fucking too much work. And they're sweating my ass off, moving boxes and heavy shit all day. No, I didn't sign up for that. I'm not going to do that shit. So if we take the labor away, who's going to do these jobs? It's going to fuck the economy even more. Because who's going to slaughter pigs? I'm not going to fucking do that. I can tell you the top 10 people I can name off the top of my head ain't going to do that. I can go on any social media platform and I guarantee you the first 100 people aren't going to fucking do that. And the people that do watch this, y'all not going to do that shit. Y'all not going to go slaughter cows. Who about to go pick corn all day? Grab apples all day. Oranges all fucking day. 365 days a year. Not me. Who about to work a construction site and get paid dog shit and get called all kinds of crazy ass names by who knows what. Maybe there might be this good white dude that pays me right. Maybe it might have this asshole dude that calls me all kinds of names, throws the money at me, and you know, I built a whole roof and this nigga gave me, you know, $90. No. Who's doing these jobs? Because I can guarantee, fucking Christ, I can guarantee you this normal generation's not doing them. You have the self-deletion rate through the roof. The birth rate is down. You have depressed psychonauts everywhere. You got people going to schools and doing all kinds of evil witchery. You have people that aren't happy with the pronouns they were given at birth. You think they're about to work in a fucking factory? You think they're about to assemble GM cars? Let's be fucking for real. They not. And no matter how much you try and pander to the people that are still here, guess what they're not gonna fucking do? They're not gonna do this hard label, and they're not gonna do the behind the scenes shit. Yeah, we're not hunters anymore. We don't hunt and gather. We go to the grocery store and do it. You really think some blue-haired fucking non-binary human is going to go work in a meat packaging factory? No, they're not doing that shit. That's just not going to happen. Gotta love the sounds of the summer, yeah. Yeah, I don't understand where Mr. Trump is going. That we get rid of the people that are the backbone of this country, and then who's going to do the shit that nobody wants to do? And I'm not going to say that they do all shit work, but let's be real. Who's going to do these jobs? No one. You know what's crazy is I was listening to like this thing on OJ Simpson, and I went completely, fuck it. That man was certifiably insane. And you know what's crazy? It's the time period that everything happened in that makes it even crazier. It was like the only reason why he was able to truly get away with all that shit was because the Rodney King situation happened, like right when he did the dumb shit. So it was just like, it was high race tensions, and it was easy to say LAPD, you know, they being aggressive again. Man, once I truly thought maybe the Jews didn't do it. Maybe they just tarnishing his name. No, when you like look at all the facts, they truly had this man caught red-handed, and their whole argument wasn't that he was innocent. It was the fact that their whole argument was based off the fact the cops was being racist. Like, yeah, they also trying to say he was innocent, but their whole ready to go to war thing was, nah, they just racist. He ain't do the shit. They had blood. They had the clothes. They had all kinds of shit. They had people who was like, yeah, I saw him. Some lady said, yeah, he almost hit me when we was driving. They couldn't take her statement because she wouldn't talk to the media. And then they had somebody else's statement that was like, oh yeah, I sold him the knife that he did it with. They couldn't take it because he talked to the media. They didn't question him. What they did, but the nigga just gave like bullshit answers. And they let this shit rock, all because he was a great football player? Like, the dig up, this man used to really beat the dog shit out that lady. Multiple times across, life. And they came to that same address multiple times for him being aggressive with that lady. And it was just like, or his wife. And it was just like, y'all let this shit rock. Y'all knew this man was bugging, but because he could play football, fuck it, we love him. That is insane, yo. That is disgusting, nasty work. All because this nigga could play football. I ain't never really seen him play, so I don't know. Maybe he was good, but I don't think he was that good. Like, they was just purposely letting evidence go. They think that the dog bit him. They knew he had cuts on his fingers. They found the blood trail. They was like, yo, the blood that was in the backyard was his type. It was his blood. Nah, it wasn't him. Then you let this nigga drive around in a Bronco and take everybody on a chase with a loaded Magnum, talking about he was gonna shoot himself, and he was out looking for the killer or some bullshit that him and his man said, and they let that rock. Like, no, you don't need to beat him with sticks in the middle of the street, but you can do your fucking job. Yo, that shit was straight fuck. Unless you just know, like, cops didn't give a fuck. Either they was burnt out from the fact that it was like, damn, everything we do is racist. And I mean, to be fair, it was like 20 of them beating the fuck out of one unarmed man. I mean, I could see it. Rodney King was struck by LA batons a total of... I know they broke a bunch of bones and shit like that. So he was hit like 53 times, but it was mad at him beating his ass. Like, don't get me wrong. But you couldn't do a little police work? Like, you don't need to be violent to do your job. You could have just questioned. Then... he took a lie detector test, failed it, and was like, I thought about killing. I didn't want to do it, but I didn't want to take the test because I knew y'all was trying to get me and lie on me. And they threw the shit out. Like, this probably has to go in the handbook of what not to do as a police officer. Like, you had a slam dunk and somehow... you missed. You whiffed the shit. You was at first and goal, and you fumbled, and the other team recovered, and then ran it all the way back. And then, like, if you ever follow OJ's life across, like, after the situation, and the nigga just kept doing dumb shit, and he just kept getting off, like, how? Even when he didn't play football no more, this was an old-ass man. Why is he breaking into people's house to steal a statue of him that he ain't got no more, and they still letting this shit rock? Man was just breaking the law, doing whatever the fuck he wanted. Did, like, 10 years for the 70 crimes? I think that was probably the only black man in history that they, like, let slide like that. You know, everybody else, you get the boomstick. But this nigga was like, yeah, I mean, y'all free to do what y'all want. I don't know. I found it super entertaining. It's like, y'all had all this evidence, and you just said, fuck it. But y'all didn't put people in jail for less. We getting out of here, y'all. We calling it a day. It's hot. The camera's ready to go. It's over there flashing. It wants to stop. But yeah, tune in next week, y'all. We're going to have great content, amazing content. Do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. Throw a comment down below if you can. I respond to them. Shout out to those boys and girls over on Patreon. We love you. All of you. You guys are everything. You keep this going. Without you guys, there's no me, and I do appreciate all of you. And I mean, Special K, Prophet D, Deja, Amy. I love all y'all. I know last week I said that one of my Patreon supporters was sick, and unfortunately, one of my first or second Patreon subscribers has passed away. So these are very unfortunate times, and I'm truly sorry. She was a beautiful soul, and she will be missed greatly. I will cancel her subscription because I'm not a fiend. I actually just found this information out today, so we love you. Thank you for being amazing.